Hi everybody, it's me Ryan and welcome back to another video. In today's video I want to give you guys an overview and review of the Roxio Game Capture HD Pro. So this is a great capture card for people who are just looking into getting an HD capture card and don't feel like spending the $200 to get the Happauge or maybe the $160 to get the Elgato. This is a really good capture card. The Elgato in this device MSRP are very close. This is 150. The Elgato is like 170, 160. You could probably find it for 160 on Amazon or something. So it's not a big difference. The reason why I didn't say that these were costed the same is because there is a link out there, and it was given to the machinima directors by the Roxio people, and it will give you, I believe, $30 off and free shipping. Then plus, you can enter in a coupon code at checkout. When it asks for a coupon code, you can put in Roxio Store 15, and then you'll get an extra, I think, $20 off. So altogether, I saved myself $40 and got free shipping. So that was awesome. So altogether, I paid $110 for this thing, and totally worth it. Okay, so some people want to know what all do you get with it. So here's what you get. You get the game capture itself. You get a CD. There's a sleeve with the product code on it. I just took it out of the sleeve because I didn't want you to see the product code. I don't know if they're reusable or not once it's registered. Anyway, better safe than sorry. And you get a gold-plated USB. This is USB 2.0. Some people say USB 3.0 is better for it. I haven't seen a difference. And then you also get a quick start guide for your Xbox and for your PS3. The cool thing about this card is you can actually record PC gameplay with this if you have an HDMI slot on your graphics card, which I happen to have. So you can do Xbox, PS3, PC, Wii, and there's a whole bunch of other things I guess you could do. This as long as they have either an HDMI port or the HD component cables ability. And plus, to use this device, you must have an HD TV. So if you guys have a standard definition TV, it's probably not going to work. Okay, so let's get into setting it up. And I will get my tripod out and I'll show you guys how to set it up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to hook this thing up. It's actually really easy to get hooked up. There's two options you have to choose from. You could either hook it up via HDMI, or you can hook it up via the component cables, which are the HD cables. And on the opposite side is the output with the addition of the USB power cable and your audio outputs and your video outputs and your HDMI output. So all in all, this thing is really small, sleek, really nice design, very skinny, and when you have it plugged in, this lights up. It's like a purple. I really like that color. It's really nice. So whenever you figured out what you're going to be using, either HDMI or component, you're going to need to have those cables available. And if you have the HD cables for your Xbox already, you would just need an extra set of component cables to go from your output to your TV. Or if you're doing HDMI, you're going to need two HDMI cables, one for your Xbox and one to go out to your TV. Now, I happen to have these because my dad has an HD TV and had a couple of them laying around, and so I decided to go with this. And plus, if you do HDMI, it actually, there's not as many wires, of course, because you're going to have 3 in the front, 3 in the back, and then you have your USB power cable, and plus audio for your headset. So it can get to be a little grouping of wires, but it's still not a problem. You can tie them together if you want to keep it as compact as you can. But I chose HDMI. So I'm going to show you guys how to hook it up via HDMI. I do have the component cables, but I don't know exactly where they are. I think my dad did something with them, or else I'd show you guys how to hook it up. It's very easy, actually. You just, I'll show you how to do HDMI first, and I'll explain the component. How about that? Okay, HDMI. Like I said, you're going to need 2 cables. This one is going, to my Xbox. In the I have an arcade, Xbox 360 Arcade Edition, and so most Xboxes now, if you buy the Slim, they have the HDMI port. Now the only bad thing is if you're going to want to use a headset, you're going to have to either, one, they sell these things now to where it's like an HDMI and component thing to plug into the back of your Xbox, like an adapter, or you will take your, let me see if I can find one. Here's one. You can take your regular Xbox cables. This is S-Video cables that I had. You can take this and you can crack this casing off and be left with this metal piece, which is what I did, and you won't have to buy that adapter. And plus, on the newer Xboxes, they do put a little tab on the cords that prevents you from hooking both together. You could cut that off if you want to. Just make sure you do wrap the bare spots, not the metal piece, but the bare spot on the wire, in electrical tape, because that could be a hazard. Okay, anyway, so like I said, this is going to my Xbox at the very bottom. It's right below the component cable input. So all we have to do is just take our front of the, this is the device, this is the input. So your console is going to be the input, and you're going to just plug it in. Very easy, one cord in already. And then our output, this cable is going to my TV. So I'm just going to plug that in. Okay, so just remember, input, console, output, TV. Pretty easy. Alright, last but not least, we have to, oh, I still have to hook up the headset. We're going to go ahead and hook up the power now. Very easy. Just really simple USB. Plug it in to the back. And then you plug it into your computer. I'm not going to plug it in right now. We'll wait till we're on the computer to do that. And now for your headset. If you want to be playing with a headset, that's why I had to do the HDMI and component cables. That's why I had to crack the case off my cables, because I wanted to listen through a headset. If you're going to do so, what you need to do is, here, let me take these apart. These are my headset cables, okay? These are for my Turtle Beaches. All you do is you take your cables and put them into your input of your game capture. Then you take, these are just regular Xbox cables, and like I said, they have the case cracked off of them up on the Xbox, and we just take those and plug those in to the front. Nothing in the back is needed unless you want to listen to the game sound on your TV, but this will capture your game sound just fine going through just the input. And that's just about it. That's all we have to do. Make sure whenever you do turn your TV on, make sure it's on, if you have the option, make sure it's on HDMI input and not component, because if you put component on, it's not going to show up. And plus, if you have all this hooked up, you want to play Xbox, this has to be plugged in, because signal will come into here, stop, because it's not turned on, it can't output. So it won't, there won't be anything on your TV. Now, as for component cables, let's go ahead and unplug the HDMI. For component cables, it's pretty much the same deal that I just showed you with the HDMI. You're going to need to take your green, blue, and red from your Xbox, plug it into the front. On the back, do the same thing. Green, blue, red. This will go out to your TV, and then your headset as well, if you want to do a headset. So I'm just going to plug that back in. There we go. Very easy. Very nice to set up, very sleek. So let's go ahead and plug it in. I'll show you guys that cool little light. I like it, at least. Favorite color is blue, so purple appeals to me. There it is, purple. Oh, and then plus, you might not be able to see, you can't see the letters, but these little lights here, there's two. One on top, one below it. This just tells you, it's like a signal light to tell you what input you're using. When I switch my Xbox on, it will switch from the HD. It's like YPB PR or something like that. I believe that's what it is right now. But when I turn it on, it'll switch over to HDMI. So you know what to choose whenever you're using the software. So all you have to do from here is just install your software and let it update. Make sure you download the newest update as a service pack for the Roxio itself to give it the best functionality. And we will go onto the computer now, and I will show you how the software works. Okay, so here we are. So you have installed your software, and everything's ready to go. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like and the different features that are included with the program. So let's go ahead and open it up. So you double-click on it, and when we get to this main menu here, we're going to have two options. See, we have Capture and Edit and Share. And there's also If you need a little bit of help, there's some really nice tutorials. I watched them all, except for this one, because that one doesn't really appeal to me. And they're pretty informative. I like them. So let's go ahead and take a look at the capture first. This is probably the best, or what everybody is going to use the most. The edit and share is still really nice. So let's wait for this. It does take a couple seconds to load up. On some people's computers it takes longer. I have an i7 and it takes a couple seconds to load. I have my Xbox turned on. You can see the picture. This is a preview. Now if you plug it in and you don't have a picture and it says down here status, no signal, or something like that, can't connect, make sure your input is right. If you're using component, make sure it's on component. HDMI is HDMI. Make sure this is selected as your source. Make sure that you restarted your computer after you installed the software, because it does require a reboot, and also make sure it installed correctly. We can do that by going, if you hit start, if you're running 7, just do this. If you're running XP, I think you just type this in run. I'm pretty sure it's in the control panel. I know it is, but it's been a long time since I've used XP. But anyway, if you're on 7, what you're going to do is you're just going to type in device manager, or just device, and it'll be in the control panel section. So we're going to open that, and this will be under, I recently had to reinstall Windows. That's why all those are like that. But it will be under sound and video game controllers, sound, video, and game controllers, sorry. And here it is, Roxio GameCap HD. Now if there's a little yellow and black exclamation point, and like the warning kind of symbol, if that's there, then there's something wrong with the device. You can right click it, uninstall it. That will uninstall the drivers. Then you can reinstall it. Hopefully that won't happen to you, and hopefully you won't have the problems that I had. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that right now. So I'll save that for the end, I guess. When we first started up, we have all this stuff available to us. So let's take a run through. This is our source here. Of course, this is our GameCap HD Pro. Our input, like I said, either component or HDMI. Our video settings. Now with the newest service pack, I believe there's only one setting. I've seen people have different settings like MP4 and just maybe like one other, just the MP4. But for me, I have the M2TS, and this is really neat. If you want to make a YouTube video with the least amount of editing possible, you can limit yourself to a capture of however many minutes. If you're not a partner on YouTube, it's 15 minutes. You just type in 15, and it will record for 15 minutes and shut off after the time is up. You have your quality slider. If your computer is not too good, you can lower this down, but my computer is good and it can handle it, and it will update right here in front of us in real time. I guess it's kind of real time, but that's what that does. If you have a bare minimum system requirement computer, you could still leave it around the middle and it would still perform just fine. And then this is the folder that you will output your file to. I just made a test folder just to make sure that it, whenever I first started testing it, make sure it would work. And this is your prefix. This is just, you can put a name here, and then you would be able to find it a lot easier after you're done. So let's just get rid of that. And then we have the recent captures. This is where your recent captures would go. These are just some tests I'll show you guys at the end. And we have information. As of right now, you can't do anything with it. That would be, if you have this selected, you could switch back. But we can enhance our picture here. It'll actually, it's really cool because it'll enhance on your TV as well. You'll be able to see the changes on your TV. Because I saw that, I noticed it whenever I was doing some tests. I noticed my color was a little bit different. Everything I have the same except for contrast and saturation. I turned the contrast down 3 points, 3 units, I guess, to 125 just to make it a little bit darker, and saturation up to 150 to give the colors more pop. If you leave it default, it can look a little bit unsaturated and bare. So the contrast, there's usually like some kind of gray, like film kind of looking thing over your video. That means your contrast is a little bit too high. Lower that down a couple points, and saturation, like I said, brings the colors out. And you can also reset these if you so desire. So let's switch back to the info. And here you can mute your preview audio. If you have your headphones plugged into your computer and there's music or something playing, you'll be able to hear it on here instead of having to plug in your headset or whatever, turn your TV on. That's pretty cool, and you can also mute that if you don't want to hear it. So that's up to you. You can full screen the capture window if you want to. It's completely up to you. I usually just leave it just like this. The full screen is pretty cool, but that's a feature that I don't use. Excuse me. You can also take a snapshot of whatever is in this capture window. So if you want to take a picture of something, you can, and it will save it to a folder that you will specify. I believe it'll save it to the same folder as your files will get saved to your videos. So that's pretty cool. And then you can also adjust your recording audio. This is going to be, I believe, the game audio that comes through. I'm not sure 100% on that one. I was thinking maybe that it would do that, and then if you're doing live stream, you would be able to turn this down if the game's too loud, so you can people can hear you a little bit better. So let's get into the options, which is one of the last things we have to do. When you first open it up, it'll give you the options prompt, and you can do your options from there. Or if you want to get back to it anytime in the future, you have to go to Tools and Options. Okay, that's a lot higher than I remember. Usually, by default, it's going to be HD 720p. This can record in 480p, 720, 1080i. I believe it does 1080p as well. I don't know why it's not there. Maybe I have my console set to 1080i. I don't know if I do or not. The bitrate, this is not for live streaming, if you're wondering. This is just for whatever it's going to record. If you don't have a good computer, such a good computer, I should say, you can lower this down. I have mine set to 15,000. This gives me the best possible video. The higher the bitrate, the better the quality is going to be. Just keep that in mind. And you can also change your location from here. Hotkeys. If you want to have a hotkey, I don't use these, but you can set these up whatever keys you want. Whenever you press that key, it will start, and when you press another key, it will stop. And here's the live stream options. Now you do need a Justin TV or Twitch TV account. If you do make a Justin.tv account, you'll automatically get a Twitch.tv account. So you log in with your username and password down here. This will say log in instead of log out because I'm already logged in down here. Let's give your channel name and location. You're going to have to choose a location that is closest to you. I used to use, let's see if it's here. Yeah, I used to use New York. That was a little bit closer. But it seems like those servers aren't as reliable as they used to be. So I choose Ashburn, Virginia, because I live in Pennsylvania, and this is just what I've been using. This is what I use in XSplit as well. Excuse me. And then your video preset. I stream in 480. I could stream in 720 with a higher bitrate, but I like to keep my bitrate where it is, just so we can handle online gaming and other things. So please keep that in mind. You're going to need to know your internet speed. If you guys need to know any of this or how to set any of this up, you can check out my XSplit tutorial. I go over all of this because it's identical to what's in this program. And then you can also check your bandwidth to see if your internet can handle what settings you have here. And then whenever you hit the live stream button over here, it will automatically launch a browser, whatever your browser is. I'm using Google Chrome. It will launch that browser and go to your Twitch.tv channel, and so you can see when you're live and all that stuff, and you can get your chat and stuff popped out. You can disable that if you want to. I leave it enabled just so I don't start talking and it didn't come through, because there is a delay. One thing I'm going to mention is like I said, there's a delay. Some people are worried that the audio is going to get out of sync with the video. That's not the case. I've been doing some live stream testing, and the audio is perfect. If you don't go by this, what's here, you have to play on your TV, and you talk normally. Don't even pay attention to this. The audio and the video will be completely in sync if you play off your TV and not look at this and try to play, which is hard because there's about a 2 or 3 second delay. So you don't have to worry about that. And that just about does it for the capture part of the software. So let's exit out and go to our edit and share. This is a really cool thing. It's geared towards beginners, but also has the functionality and features that you would see in a higher-end video editing program such as Vegas. So when you first start up, you can select your format. 16:9 is going to be default because that's what YouTube plays at. You can also do 4:3, which is really weird looking. So we're going to do 16:9. And then what we're going to do is, I don't have a clip actually. You would take your clip. If I kind of shrunk this out a little bit, I had a clip on my desktop, let's say right over here. You could drag it right into your timeline, and it would pop itself on the timeline. And how to get to the timeline, it'll automatically start out at the storyline. You just come down here, click on timeline, and you can switch. You can put your video, music, you can have sound effects, overlays, text. You can also record up here, this little narration button. You can record your narration, and you can also edit tracks and things. You can add text, you can delete things, align things perfectly, so they line up the right way. Save it, and also I don't have a clip in here, but there will be, when you drag a clip in, there's a really neat option that will optimize the video colors. It will auto correct your videos. It'll add in the color correction and stuff, so you don't have to mess around with it. But it's a neat little skill to learn. I use Vegas, so I'm not gonna use this at all, but it is really, really nice. So once you're finished, you can also slow it down and speed it up as well. Once you're finished, you could output it to your desktop, or, which is really cool, you can upload it directly to YouTube or Facebook, which is really, really neat. So, like I said, it doesn't take very much. This is it's really fast. If you want to be able just to upload videos, quickly, you can record. Excuse me. Sorry about that, I was coughing. Anyway, you can record, then you could, in the capture program, you can drag it into here, edit it a little bit, add your commentary, and put it right up to YouTube. And it's just quick. It's really nice. So exit out of that, and that just about does it. So the review, here comes the review part. I did want to try to maybe group things up together in subgroups and then give it one overall rating. For the software gets a 8 out of 10. I was going to give it a 9, but the only bad thing is the live streaming option is very, very limited. You can't add in music, you can't add in titles, overlays like you can with XSplit, and this doesn't work with XSplit because I've tried. If you try to add it as a camera, it doesn't work. I've seen people use the screen region part of XSplit. You can screen region option and highlight the capture window inside of the Roxio. I tried that, and for some reason it didn't work, so I'm going to use this for now until I figure out a solution. But that's just a little minor thing. But the capture works really, really well. It's very smooth. Edit and share is very nice as well, especially if you don't have an editor and you don't feel like using Movie Maker or iMovie, something like that. You can use this. This is really, really nice. The device itself, skinny, sleek. There's not too many wires if you're running HDMI. Allows you to game in HD. There's some other ones, cheaper ones, I'll say, like the Dazzle. If you play in HD, I don't even think you can play in HD. It makes you play in 480 or whatever it records in. So this allows you to play in 720, 480, 1080p, 1080i, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, 720p, if I didn't mention that already. And then, so that's really nice. And the functionality, it's perfect. It's just really, really nice, I have to say. It's just, it's a huge step up from a Dazzle. If you have a Dazzle, or whatever, if you want to get into commentating, I recommend this. If you're looking for an HD card, definitely get this first. Don't buy, I'm not going to say don't buy. I recommend this just because it's cheap. It's the cheapest HD card you can get right now. The Happauge is like, $200. If you don't want to spend the $200, you can buy one of these for about half that price and still have identical results. So overall, this gets a solid 9 out of 10. There are a couple little, minor gripes about the, not packaging HDMI cables or, component cables, and a couple little things in the software that didn't give it the perfect 10 out of 10, but still, this thing is really, really, really nice. Totally worth every single penny. So I highly recommend it to you guys if you guys are looking into getting into commentating or live streaming even. So that's just about it. That's it for this tutorial. I'm so used to doing tutorials. That's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other questions, anything I didn't go over, please let me know, and I will be glad to help you guys. Alright, until next time, I will see you guys later.